Okay. If you can hear me, good morning, everyone. If you can hear me, just indicate that you can hear me. Let me see some yes as I'm testing my microphone now. Hello. Can anyone hear me? I want to see yes, yes, yes.
Hello.
Yes, yes, enough yes.
Yes, yes,
Hear
yes.
you.
Can
Correct.
hear you. I can hear you.
So we're going to start this webinar as soon as we can start now. But I want to find out from beginning from Alex. I can see your face very clearly. I hope everything is well, Alex. Alex Honorio, I'm referring to you. Yes, good. So, and every other participant, I welcome you all to this webinar today. Good morning, and everyone. Good morning, Mr. Morulu, Etegu, Akor, Brafa. Mr. Brafa, do you mean to type Biafra? I don't mean to. No pun intended. I hope everybody is fine. Coronavirus or no coronavirus, you just have to make money. My name is Olusegun. As you can see, an analyst here and also the head of training and retention. I'm here today to guide us on how to use PinBar and use it appropriately on the chart, and also use it to make money for ourselves. So if we are all ready to start, can I say yes, we can go on? Yes, we can go on. I want to see it. I want to see everybody type yes, we can go on, so that I can see and be sure that everybody. Okay, Brafa is your nickname. Good, Brafa. All right, so everybody, we are all on the same page. Let's quickly move on to the next slide. Okay, so in our small amount of time together today, we want to look at the PinBar. We want to see how it can form or how it is formed on the chart, and how you can detect it to make a quick gain in the market to give you an idea of where price is going. Okay, because most often than not, price follow PinBar, even if it is for 2-3 pips. Do you understand what I mean? Most often than not, price will respect PinBar, even if it is for 2-3 pips. And most often than not, as we have found out, that price, if PinBar formed correctly on the chart, obeying all the rules, price will still move at least 10 pips, at least 10 pips. Okay, so that's obeying all the rules. We're not saying that 100% of time you're going to make money with PinBar. That's not what we're saying. We're saying that at least 100% of time, price will respect the PinBar. Like say 80-90% of time, price will respect the PinBar and move at least 10 pips in the direction of the PinBar. So your job is simple: be able to identify that PinBar at the right place so that you can use it to make money. That's all. All right. So we want to see if we can use it to identify a high probability trade setups, and also make clarification where there was once confusion when it comes to PinBar. Okay, now don't forget that this PinBar we're talking about is also the same thing as hammer. Some people can call it hammer, some people can call it anything they want to call it. So we want to see if we can use it to make money, a lot of it today. Okay, so let me just quickly ask you to respect the rule of the game. You have to respect the rule of the game. You have to stick to the rules. Don't forget to always stick to the rules. Once I show you all the setups, always stick to the rules. If it doesn't form, if you're going to be following PinBar alone, it will mean that if PinBar does not appear on the chart correctly, you should not trade. It's as simple as that. Okay, you might have some other strategies to use, but when it comes to PinBar, you have to respect the rule of the game. You are not trading any other thing except PinBar. That's what it means. Okay, so let's quickly move on to definition. Basically, PinBar is a technical term describing candlestick that looks like a hammer on the chart, or a batting hammer on the chart. Now, don't forget that the hammer we're talking about may necessarily not be a bullish hammer. It might be a bearish hammer. But as far as it is hammer or PinBar, like we call it, we can use to make money. And of course, don't forget that it might also be inverted, meaning that it can be turned upside down on the chart. Okay, there are two types: the bullish and the bearish. Okay, the bullish and the bearish might be of opposite colors. It doesn't matter. Bullish PinBar might be a red candle. That means it might be a bearish candle. Bullish PinBar might be a bullish candle. As far as it is a PinBar, it is a PinBar. Now, bearish PinBar might also be a bearish candle. You see the confusion there. You need to be careful when it comes to PinBar. Sometimes bearish PinBar might be a bullish candle, but it is still bearish PinBar. So it is left at the end of this video. I want to see everybody, every one of us, being able to identify this kind of candlesticks. All right, basically price action. So let's quickly move on to identify a particular one. Look at this example. That's the arrow I point to on the screen. Okay, can you see the arrow pointing to a bullish PinBar? Now, that bullish PinBar might have been a bearish candle. In other words, the color might, you can see my own color on the chart is green and red. It means that the bullish PinBar might have been a red candle, meaning that it might be a red candlestick or a bearish candlestick. But the important thing is the direction of that candle is up. All right, it's not turning upside down, it's just facing one direction, not. So your job is simple. The next thing you want to see is after this formation, the PinBar must also form around support. Very important. In fact, the most critical thing, because most often than not, you'll be seeing a lot of them. For example, if you can see my mouse on the screen, you can see that I have a mouse pointing to a bearish candle right now. That's the one I'm circling right there. Okay, that bearish candle is also a PinBar, but unfortunately for that PinBar, that's a bullish PinBar, it doesn't form around support. So it means that you cannot follow that kind of candle. Now also, I'm looking at daily chart. Look at D1 that I have now, and as you can see, even if you choose to switch to H1, for example, or you choose to trade maybe M5 for those scalpers around town. I'm not a scalper, I don't scalp, but you're trading your choice. So you might as well identify any kind of trading style you choose. Some people even trade 1 minute chart. All right, I don't trade 1 minute chart, I don't trade 5 minute chart. The least time frame I trade is M15. Least time frame I trade is M15. And of course, it's except if I want to use it to correct some things. All right. So if you have any questions as we move on now, it's better you ask. We always look for a way to answer all of you. Okay. If you have any question at this moment, just quickly ask now. Let me see if I can carry everybody along. For some people are just joining now, I want to believe that we're on the same page. So any questions so far? Let me just quickly read the message from anybody. Okay, go on. Let me mute everyone. Okay, I've muted everyone. Everyone, please mute yourself. Any other question apart from the mute? Okay. All right. So no question as far as PinBar is concerned. Forget about the mute part now. Let's see questions that have to do with this webinar. The question that has to do with PinBar. If there's no question, I will assume everybody understand bullish PinBar. Okay. So for those of you trading with phone. Let me just quickly give you a tip on how you can do that. That's from Zix. What's your name, sir? ZYZX. Very, very kind of difficult for me to pronounce that kind of name, but your name is not important. The question is the important thing for me to identify. Now, for you using phone, one thing you can do is to quickly put your moving average. Okay, use your moving average as your support and resistance, because the software I'm using on the laptop does not work with phone. True. So how do you use the software? How do you use the moving average on the chart? Do you know how to use it? All you need to do is just tap the center of your screen on your phone and press F. All right. There's one kind of funny F. F as in figure F. If you can type it, if you can click on it, it will take you to a page where you can choose indicators you want. So on that trend, you can pick indicator. You can pick moving average. And of course, the number you can use any number you want, but you should use from 20 and above. That's for me. Some people use 13. 13 is also a Fibonacci number. Some people use 8. 8 is a little bit fast for me. So choose from 20 and above. You can choose 20, very good number. You can also choose 21. I use 21. Okay, the volume, I think the volume is fine. I don't have any problem with volume. Any other person having issue with hearing me? Okay. All right. So now, once you put your moving average, you can click on done, and then you are good to go. So you are only looking for a PinBar around the moving average you choose to trade with. All right. Very, very good. I use it a lot. I use it on phone. Okay. I know I can use dynamic moving average, that dynamic support and resistance on the chart. But when it comes to your laptop, you don't have to use moving average. You are open to a lot of opportunity. That's why laptop is very important. So you can use support and resistance software. Now, if you need this particular software that I have on my screen, all you need to do is just indicate. All right. I will look for a way to get like a link and give you, or just private PM your managers privately, and of course they will send it across to you. Okay. So also, like I said, the color is very important, but it's not important when it comes to pin bars. The color is, we don't respect color, okay? Pin bar is pin bar. If it is bearish pin bar, it is also bullish information, okay? The important thing is for you to look at the shape. The bearish pin bar, if it is not inverted, then it is bullish information. What you want to do is to push the price up. So your job is very simple. Identify it early enough, and of course you can follow it. Let me just show you the next screen. That's the next screen that we have now. If you look at what I have on the board, you find out that the bearish pin bar on the board now is bullish candle. And you see it funny, very funny. And this one happens on Euro USD M5. I just decided to pick M5 as an example. Not that I trade M5. All right. I was just looking for a way to look at the candlestick that respect that formation that I'm looking for. And I was able to pick this. And of course, this one happened just shortly after FOMC 2 days ago. That's 2 days ago. That's on Wednesday. Okay, there was an FOMC meeting that happened, and of course you can see the reaction of the FOMC. That's the candlestick I'm pointing to now. But after the FOMC move, that's the news. Okay, after Jerome Powell's speech, this particular pin bar formed. Now, for those of us trading candlesticks, for those of us that are trading purely technicals, we are not listening to FOMC, we're not a fan of fundamental analysis. You want to hold on. This is very important. So if you are hearing me now, you need to listen and listen attentively. If you are not a fundamental trader, that means you are a candlestick trader or a price action trader or a technical trader. Anytime there's a very hot news in the market, for example, FOMC, hope you all know FOMC. I want to see yes. Let me just quickly switch to chart and check yes. Anybody? Okay. Hello. Okay, so we all know FOMC. Anybody that doesn't know, anybody here that don't know FOMC, who is saying no? At this level, you should know FOMC, Federal Open Market Committee. Okay, Federal Open Market Committee is just like just like your bankers committee. That's the CBN committees in Nigeria that decide what goes on with the economy of the United States of America. Now, anytime they have a meeting like that, they want to decide what happens to the economy of the US. And of course, 2 days ago, that's on Wednesday. Very important to every trader to know. Thank you very much, Mr. Rotimi. It's not what you don't want to know. So what you want to do is, after this video, after this webinar, just go to your Google and type FOMC, like so. And of course, download every material you can read on it. If you like, you can even follow them on Twitter or whatever. And of course, make sure that you follow them. It's very important. Now, if you are not a fan of fundamental analysis, all you need to do is, once there's a fundamental news like such in the market, you wait a little bit. Okay? Most often than not, you find out that candlestick will give you an idea of what will happen in the market in a very short while. All right? So before you know it, that day, there was this candlestick that formed on the chart. And of course, immediately I saw the bearish pin bar, like so, on the 5 minutes chart. I was actually monitoring 5 minutes chart for this particular one because I want to enter the trade early. I want to see if I was going to continue to buy Euro USD or switch to sell, because the market was trending up for a while. So I quickly switched on my chart to M5, and of course I saw this particular pin bar, and that was how I placed my sell trade. And of course my trade closed yesterday in profit. All right, so that's what you can do. You can really, pin bar can give you an idea of where price will go next. Of course, I found out that one in 5 minutes. Not that I trade 5 minutes chart. I was just, following the news. I couldn't sleep. I was just looking for a way, to make my money in the market after FOMC. Now, that said, it means that you can see that the candlestick doesn't necessarily have to be bearish before you can identify it as a bearish pin bar. The important thing is it has to point correctly to the direction where the market should go. Now, let me just quickly move on now so that we can see if we can switch to charts. That's the live chart now, and see. I'm going to switch my charts shortly. I'm going to share my MT4 screen with you so that we can all look at how we can identify all this in practice, because most likely today, if you're able to identify a particular one, any of the instruments you want to trade, we can quickly place a trade, buy or sell in the market. Okay, so let me just quickly click on new share, and of course, share my MT4 with you. All right, so that's MT4. You can see my charts clearly. Anybody? So I'm going to switch to USD CHF. I want to start with that. You can see that I have a buy trade. That means I have a trade running on it, and of course, it's approaching my take profit. I might choose to write this trade risk free. This is a real account. Okay, I already placed this trade already. That's I think I placed it yesterday or so. Yesterday on H1, and that's because I saw a pin bar. Now, that's the pin bar I looked at yesterday. How did I see the pin bar? I was actually trading with a different support and resistance indicator. That's a trend indicator on the chart. Let me just show you the indicator I was using yesterday. I was using this Bollinger Band. And what I found out was that there was a PinBar. Can you see it, everybody? Everybody, yes? Can you see my screen? So let me just quickly highlight this particular one that I saw yesterday. I saw this particular candlestick, a bullish PinBar. Are you all with me? I want to see yes. Okay, okay. So time frame that is suitable to identify PinBar start from H1. H1 is good enough. 15 minutes is good enough. 30 minutes is good enough. Even H4, very solid one, it's good enough. Now, if you also look at H4 on USD card, you find exactly the same thing that I saw on my chart now on H4. I also use that one to make money on USD card. Who is raising hand? Let me just quickly check what your question is. I have my team. Somebody is raising hand. Who? What have you got to say? Any question? Hello? Somebody raised hand. I want to see what question you have. You want to type your question so that I can see? If there's no question, I will move on. Okay, let me move on. Now, you can see the identification there. You can see that this particular pin bar rested on the middle band of this Bollinger Band. Now, there are different strategies with Bollinger Band. I'm just showing you an example of a pin bar that rested on the support. All right. So this particular middle band, don't forget that the middle band is the moving average that we're talking about in Bollinger Band. If I click on the parameters now, you can see the period. That means we identify candlestick. That's period of candlestick that we're looking at, 20. And of course, that is the candlestick that's the middle band that you saw there. That's this middle line. So just like I mentioned before, if you want to use moving average on your phone, you can use 20. You can use 21. So for this particular Bollinger Band, we're using 20 period. Now, you can see that this particular candlestick is the one I was showing. Immediately I saw it, even though it was preceded by, succeeded rather, by a bearish candle. It doesn't matter. The important thing is I've placed my trade and I've identified my take profit at about, say, 50 pips. So I was actually targeting 50 pips, all right? I didn't want to target 100. Not that I cannot target 100. And I'm using small lot size. Okay, not that I don't have volume. I just choose to be a little bit careful with my trade and say, okay, let me just, because it's resting on the middle band, not on the lower band. Okay, I would have been okay with the lower band if it had happened, say, on H1 or H4, but it didn't happen on the lower band. It happened actually on the middle band. Okay, now this particular one, for me, if you are a candlestick trader, once you have been doing something for a while, you will know a continuation pattern, and of course, you will know a reversal pattern. Now, let me just quickly show you something. On the lower band, there was a reversal pattern. All right, that's the candlestick you see there. Already we've seen it, bullish engulfing, and of course followed by the piercing line. And of course, when it now got to the middle band, it now formed a pin bar, telling me that this particular one indicates to me or communicates to me as a trader that the price will still continue in that direction. All right, that's the initial direction. The initial direction was okay. Let's begin to move up, and of course, there was a pin bar that formed another level, telling me that this particular price will still continue to be bullish for a while. Now, it might go to 100 pips. But of course, if I want to save the trade now, what I can do, if I were you, if you have this kind of trade, what you can do is to right-click on your trade if you are using laptop, for example, and of course, click on, say, modify. Okay, you can click on modify. Now, before you click on modify, you want to check the entry price of the trade. Okay, when you click on modify, the entry price will quickly show to you as 0.94409. So let's say you want to take, say maybe 5 pips, save in this particular one. You can say, okay, let me just modify my entry to that's 459. That's if you choose 94459 as your stop loss now, it will be okay. So just come around here and change this one to 5959. All right, that way you secure a 5 pips profit on your trade. You can see that. So my stop loss is here now, and what it means is that this particular trade is risk-free at this level. So it means that even if I choose not to look at this trade again for the rest of this duration, for the rest of the trade duration, I'm riding risk-free. What it means is that it's either I hit the take profit right there or I hit the stop loss right here. So whichever one I made money, that's about 5 pips. Can you see it? So that's how you can ride this kind of trade risk-free. And of course, if you want to check it, you can also check it, see on USD card. Let me just quickly switch to USD card right now and switch to H4 immediately. Let me just go back to this same Bollinger Band strategy and switch to H4 so that you can see what I'm seeing. You can also see that there's a pin bar right there. Can you see it? Let me just click on insert, see shapes, and of course this particular one. All right, very, very good. All right, very good pin bar. And of course, after the formation of pin bar, instead of the pin bar to continue, there was now kind of like a marubuzu. All right, that's marubuzu open, a little bit, almost marubuzu closed. That also told me or give me an indication that the price will still continue to push up. And of course, after that one, if you have placed your trade buy at that level, you would have made nothing less than about 150, 160 pips for the price turn. But even at that level, if your target say like 40, 50 pips, this particular candlestick would have closed it in profit for you. Are you following, sir? Are you following, everybody? Any questions so far? All right, so that's how to use PinBar. Now, how not to use PinBar? For example, if you are using this Bollinger Band, you can see this particular example. There's a bullish PinBar right here. Let me just click here and show you exactly what I mean. Let me say I use shape of a circle and quickly circle this one out so that you can see it. Can you see that PinBar? The one in circle, that's the red one now. I decided to just circle this one so that you can see it. I can as well twist it a little bit, like so. Okay, so that's a pin bar. Now, if you look at that pin bar clearly, you find out that the pin bar does not close above that lower band. All right, let me delete this one and show you something. You can see clearly that this particular pin bar failed to close above the lower band. Now, if you are trading the support and resistance, before you can place a buy, the candlestick must close above support. And of course, this one failed to close above support, so you cannot use it in that sense. And of course, even if you switch, even if you use not, if you're not a fan of Bollinger Band and you choose to trade say support and resistance like so, you can also see that this particular candlestick also closed above verified support. All right, telling you that this is a very good pin bar that you could have traded, that could have given you a lot of money. Okay, at that level. All right, so that's how to use pin bar and not how to, and also how not to use pin bar. Okay, so let me just check question and answer now. To see, I need the template for support and resistance. Okay, just give me a moment. I think I can do something about it for the benefit of all of us here on this webinar. Let me just see if I can get a link and see if I can just drop the link here now so that everybody can see and click on the link to download the template. Now, I might not have the template for you. You need to learn how to, on your own, how to install indicator, because you need to install the indicator. It's a third-party indicator. You have to install it. It doesn't follow your laptop. It doesn't follow your MT4 at the beginning. So it's not a default thing. Show us again how you set up a risk-free trade. Okay, I'll try that. Please, don't you need confirmation candle before entry? No, you don't need confirmation candle before entry. I'm looking at a message sent around 10:23. Somebody is asking, please, don't you need confirmation candle before entry? No. If your pin bar formed correctly, you don't need confirmation. But if you want to say, okay, let me just take all precautions, then you can choose to use confirmation. And of course, your confirmation candle will be if the very next candle after the pin bar trade above the high of the pin bar. For a bullish pin bar, you can place a buy. And of course, if the very next candle after the bearish pin bar form and trade below the low of the pin bar, then you can also place a sell on that pin bar. Are you following, sir? For the person that asked if you need confirmation, let me be clear again. As an example, let me just show you this particular one. If you look at what I have, maybe I can just show you something here. Let me just click on tools and of course click on shape. Identify this particular one now. Hope you can see my screen. I can as well zoom in so that you can see very clearly. Now, somebody is asking, do you need a confirmation candle before you can place a buy? Sometimes the answer is yes. Sometimes the answer is not necessary. Now, if it depends, as you play with your chart, as you become a better trader, you begin to see some things and begin to discount some other things. Okay, you can say, okay, let me just wait for confirmation. Now, the confirmation you need is on the very next candle. Can you see? Now, there are two ways to confirm a candle. There are some school of thought, okay, some candlestick traders or some group of candlestick traders that believe that the very next candlestick after the pin bar must be bullish before they can place a buy. For example, if I click on text label and of course come around here and type say candle, say pin bar, PinBar. Okay, and click on OK. So we can see the PinBar right there. That's the PinBar. And of course, if I click on text label again and come to confirmation. All right. Confirmation. Let me just put that one in capital letter so that you can see it. On confirmation candle. Okay, so let me just choose, say, green for this one so that you can see it. Oh, I think green is not clean enough. It's not so bold. Maybe I can choose black for this one. Black can be black color. That's black ink. So you can see the confirmation candlestick right here. Maybe I can just twist this one a little bit, right? Okay, I can't twist it, but I think you can see it. I hope that everybody can see it. Note that this confirmation candlestick, I'm pointing this candlestick here. Maybe I can just draw. Okay, let me just delete this one. Hope you are all following. I'm showing you some things that you can use to make money for yourself. So I'm going to use arrow to show you the confirmation candlestick. That's the arrow there. So now you are supposed to place a buy if the confirmation candlestick, that's the one with the one the arrow is under, if it trades above the high of the PinBar. Now, how do you know the high of the PinBar? You can just touch the candlestick. The high of this candlestick is 1.34128. So if you are using phone, for example, you can just quickly use your crosshair on your phone. Crosshair is on the phone. You can just use to check the high of the candle. And of course, don't forget that your crosshair will show you the price on the price axis and the right side. So you can just quickly check the high of that candle. You can write it down on your data, and of course, also check the high of the current candlestick that is running now. Don't forget that if the PinBar closed, or as at when the PinBar closed, that candlestick becomes candlestick 1. And of course, the candlestick that is currently forming on the chart after the close of PinBar is called candlestick 0. So all you need to do is to wait for candlestick 0 to trade above candlestick 1. That's your confirmation. All right. So for the person that asked for confirmation, now you have it. So that's how to get confirmation candlestick. Let me just see if I can answer another question as we move on. Kindly show us how you set up a risk-free trade. I think I showed you that one already on the USD CHF trade. Let me delete so that I can show you how I do it again. Delete, cancel stop loss. All right, so there's no stop loss at the moment. Now I place a trade and my trade is in profit. All I need to do is to wait for the trade to go a little bit into profit like so. And of course, I can, two ways to do it. You can right click and click on trailing stop, and of course choose a number. Say for example, I want to follow it at say 20 pips. That's about 200 points. And of course, you click on OK. Automatically, stop loss is supposed to be generated and follow it. But I don't use this system anymore. The reason why is because this one is constantly. You can see the way it's following the price. If the price moves 20 pips distance, that's the distance between the stop loss and the current price. It's always going to be constant 20 pips because I use 200 points. Can you see it? So it's going to be constant 20 pips. So if the price moves higher, the stop loss will continue to follow it automatically. So instead of doing this, why don't you cancel trailing stop, delete all, and of course adjust your stop loss to say 20 pips. So you can just adjust to about 50 points. You can see on the left, if you look at the left pane of my, that's as I'm dragging this stop loss now, you can see the Naira, that's about 800 Naira, minus 800 and something Naira MGN, and of course you can see minus 193 pips. So all you need to do is to drag this one until it gets to say 50 points. Okay, by the time it gets to 50 or 49 thereabout, you can just drop it. So that one will give you kind of like a secured level. This one will not move because you already canceled the trailing stop. It's not going to move automatically. That's about 5.4 pips. Okay, so this one is how you can use it to ride it risk-free. If you use the automatic trailing stop, there's a probability or high probability that as the trailing stop, as the stop loss follows the price, a little bit of retracement will cancel out the trade. Don't forget that. It's not as if it's bad. It's not completely bad. But this one already secured that trade for you, and of course you can always refer back to it anytime and accept whatever comes out. Okay. Let me see another question. For a trade placed after the formation of the PinBar, is it safe to place the stop loss at the low of the candle? Yes, of course. You can place the stop loss at the low of the candle. That's looking at the USD card now. Let me just please switch to USD card and show you. Now, somebody is asking, if I place a trade after the formation of the PinBar, that say, for example, my trade starts from air, and of course, if I change this one to entry, let me just edit the text. and choose entry price zone, entry price. Okay, entry price is fine. And of course, if I change this one, can you hear me? Okay, hello, can you hear me? Okay, okay. All right, so let me just okay. Okay, so somebody was asking question um if I can put stop loss below. Now your stop loss is going to be below something like that. Hello, can we hear me now? All right, so let's continue. So the stop loss is supposed to be somewhere below the pin bar. A very good question that someone asked there. Thank you very much. The person that asked that question did very well. Okay. Okay, so your stop loss is supposed to be below. So I'm going to change the color of this line to say black, for example, or even red. Okay, I can use this one. I can as well just edit or just add a comment there as stop loss level. Now, let me just quickly give you an idea of what I'm trying to do here. Let me give you an idea of what I'm trying to achieve. Now, you can see the level of the stop loss, everybody. Now, let me zoom in. If you are using laptop, this is what you do. Once you identify that stop loss level, you need to zoom out on the time frame you are trading. Zoom out, very important. Zoom out as much as you can on your laptop and check the levels very well. Now, if you look at this one now, you find out that the stop loss level is good enough. Why? Because when the price was going up, there was a gap previously, and of course, at levels where you can place your stop loss could be here, could be this level. It could also be this level. Also be this level. That's another level where you can put your stop loss. But of course, it could also be this level, right? Those are the three levels you can put your stop loss. Okay, so as the price was bouncing up, this was a resting moment for the price, then another resting moment for the price, then another resting moment for the price. Okay, so since this one is already here, let me just drag it so that you can see what I'm talking about. So those are the three levels you can use as a stop loss. That's why I said, okay, we can use this price as a stop loss. Now, the distance between this last candle, that's the one you are trading now. Let me zoom in very well so that you can see. Very important that you also choose a distance. Now, the distance between this price, that's the pin bar, and the stop loss is also very important. Some use 20 pips, some use 5 pips, some use 10 pips. The recommended one is from 10 pips and above. Okay, so you want to use 10 pips below the low of the candle. It will mean that you have to call the candle. Hope you all know how to call candle. How do you call a candle? You just carry your cursor. If you are using laptop, carry your cursor and touch the candlestick. That means you are calling it. So when you call the candlestick, the low price of that candlestick will show for a buy trade, as in this example. So when you see the low of that candlestick, deduct 10 pips from that low. And of course, if you want to use that level, then you can use 10 pips below the low of the candle. Opposite is true if you are trading a sell, meaning that if you are trading a sell, and of course, you place a sell, you already place a sell trade after confirmation, and of course, you have to use the high of the candle as your stop loss. Meaning that the high of the candle could be that's the level whereby you feel that okay, I think I've seen a retracement there before, or I think I've seen a reversal there before, or I think that's a solid resistance zone. Then one, you can now use a price above that resistance, say 10 or 20 pips above that resistance, or above the hammer or the inverted hammer you are trading rather. So that's how you can identify all those ones. Now let me just quickly see if I can check Euro USD at the moment and see if there's anything for us to do for Euro USD. Let's check. Now we can see that there's a pin bar right here on this one. If I ask now, let me just see if participants are following me. I'm not saying we are going to use this one to place a trade. No, I'm just asking this kind of candlestick now. It's a pin bar. Let me ask: is it a bearish pin bar or a bullish pin bar? Let me ask the audience. I want to see reaction. Who is answering correctly? Bearish pin bar, correct. Why do we call the candle pin bar? Well, it's a technical name, pin bar. It's traders' coined name, though. Some people say it's pin bar. Some people call it inverted hammer, or some people call it, hammer, and all that. So exactly, bearish with caution. So bearish pin bar with caution. But unfortunately, using our support and resistance, we found out that the support and resistance zone does not really lie around here, except if you want to check. Okay, because there are other ways. Even if you are using software, it doesn't mean that it is only software you have to depend on. Sometimes you have to also visualize. You also need to learn as a trader how to visualize. Now, if you look at this particular candlestick very well, you find that in the past, if I click on insert now and I click on shape, I click on rectangle, you find that during FOMC, price waved around this zone. Can you see it, everybody? Can you see the way I'm drawing that? Telling us that during FOMC, don't forget that this candlestick happened on Wednesday. I'm telling you this because I know, okay, I am part of this market. I virtually sleep and wake up to this market. So I know this particular candlestick happened during FOMC. All right. Now, during the FOMC, there was this candlestick, and of course, if you are going to call this candle, if you're going to give it a name, a technical name, you can call it a kind of like an indecision candle, or just call it indecision candle, because the body of the candle is like almost at the center of the candlestick, meaning that there's a lot of shadow on top, a lot of shadow below. So it's just a kind of like wave. A lot of traders are not decided where the price should go. Now, eventually, that level was broken at this level. If you can see my mouse now, this particular candlestick was one that broke that level, that FOMC level, eventually yesterday. That's late yesterday night. And of course, after that break, price now did something. Price turned around and also tested that level and returned with a pin bar. All right, telling you that there's a rejection around that level at the moment. And of course, it is possible that price will continue to trend down. So if you want to take a risk and you want to place this trade now, just like somebody said with caution, then you can use a small lot size. For example, say 0.01, say 0.01, and of course you can, click on sell directly. Now, if you look at my example now, I've placed a sell. Of course, you can also quickly click and drag your stop loss above this candlestick. You have to use above this candlestick. Now, for you to use above this candlestick, you can go say maybe 10 or 20 pips above, say 10 pips. If you want to verify the 10 pips, all you can do is simple. Just come around and check the candlestick. What's the high of the candlestick? The high is 1.13397. So 39 plus 5 is just 44. So it means that if I want to use stop loss now, I should use 1.13447. Okay, so I can just modify this now. That's 5 pips above, or let me just use 49. That's 10 pips above. So 49 is going to be 497, 497, and that's exactly 10 pips above that candle. So if you want to check and confirm if it's 10 pips above now, all you need to do is just point your cursor to it. All right. Okay, that's 10 pips above this high of the high of the candlestick. That's where your stop loss should be. Now, you can also, as a technical trader, you can also look at something. That why don't I use a rejection point as my stop loss? Now, a rejection point that is obvious on this chart, that is very close to this stop loss now, is this level. Let me just click on insert and also show you how to find a rejection point. This is a rejection point, all right? And of course, this is also a rejection point. Okay, very close to, those are the ones that are close to your stop loss at the moment. All right, and of course, don't forget that this is another rejection point. That's the one high up there, the higher one. Now, the closest one to your stop loss is this right one, this here. So, but you might not want to use this one. You might say, okay, why don't I use this one or the highest one? So, for me, I think I'm going to have to use this one as my rejection point. This one is better, even though it is not, like if it's not as if it's best for me, but of course it's still better than the one I used before. So that's a better rejection point for that price. So with this one, you can also target say 10 pips for this trade. This one is about 29 pips, which is good. And of course, if you now want to say, okay, maybe I have something to do, very urgent. I want to quickly, get to the market, and I'm not going to be with my laptop. I don't want to be with my phone, but I still want to secure this trade if it enters profit. Fine. What you can do is to now finally right click and click on trailing stop, and of course click on custom and say, okay, I choose that if this trade goes into profit from 10 pips and above, move my stop loss to break even. And of course, you can also follow the price. Whenever I come back, I can always delete the trailing stop and of course, adjust my stop loss to where it should be. So the next thing you not want to do is to put 100 points in there, and of course click on OK. That way, you already secure that trade for profit. Okay, if the trade goes into profit 10 pips, you're not going to lose this one anymore. Okay, you're not going to lose this one at all. You're going to be in that trade and of course make money with it. Let me just quickly check again if there's any question I can attend to. Do you call it FOMC? Yeah, I call it FOMC. Okay, any other question? Do that again. What again? Please be specific. PEP's Big FX lecture room. You want to be specific on what you want me to do again. Is it that you want me to adjust the stop loss again, or you want me to place another trade here? Because I'm not sure of what you want me to do. I need a very clear and concise question so that I can attend to it. Okay. Why do we call the candle PinBar? I think I've attended to that. Let me just please switch and check. Okay. Any other question? Okay, trailing stop. All right. So the trailing stop is very easy. For me, I can right click and delete the current one so that I can see it. What it means is that if I click on a trade, if I point to a trade like so, I can right click and click on trailing stop. And of course, I can choose a custom. That's the number of points I want. All right. If I click on custom now and I choose 10 pips, which is 100 points, all right, I can type 100 and I'll click OK. Now, what it means, what this 100 means is that if this trade moves into profit, say, for example, it begins to, the current price begins to trade down, and of course, it's now going into profit, profit, profit. Once it gets to 10 pips like so, this stop loss right here will move from here and jump into this place and begin to jump into zero. That's the entry, and begin to follow the price, and begin to follow the price, and begin to follow the price to get to take profit. Now, if the price retraces during that journey and hit the stop loss to close the trade, that's the bad part about it. And of course, if the price also continues to trend and move forward, you can also hit the take profit. That's what it means. So let me just click close that one so that you will understand it. Let's quickly check, say US 30. Anything we can do with US 30? Anything? Let's check. We can use a lot of price to check. I want to see if we can place at least one or two trades. There's a PinBar currently forming or almost forming on this particular one, but don't forget that this is H4, and of course on the H4 this particular candlestick open at 8 o'clock. That's 5 minutes past 8 a.m. today. So it means that it will close at when? That's 12:04:59. That's around 12:05 thereabout. That's when another candlestick will start forming. So, and of course, if you want to trade a PinBar, don't forget that you can't assume that the candlestick is a PinBar, even if it is 2 minutes to close. Now, it looks like a PinBar, true, but it might return as a bearish candle because the candlestick is going to close around 12 midnight, 12 in the afternoon. So we don't want to dabble into trade and say, oh, I've seen a PinBar when the candlestick has not finished forming. Don't do that. It's very, very bad. All right. So any other chart we can check, say 30 minutes. Let's quickly check 30 minutes chart. And of course, there's a PinBar here. But the PinBar, when did they return? Did it return after verified support? Yes. Let's quickly check that to confirm. The price got to around verified support and returned because PinBar is already confirming that direction that the price will continue to move that. So if you are a fan of index and you want to trade this one now, you can say, okay, the PinBar is just a continuation pattern that will push this price forward. But of course, there's a doji forming right here. If the price trade above the doji, to mean that the price will continue up, like so. So you can place a new order like so. And of course, on this one also, you can place a buy. Okay. And of course, if you have placed that buy, don't forget that this is a rejection point. So telling you that you can quickly click and drag this your stop loss down to this level, that's the verified support level, drop it, and of course, you are good enough. And of course, your take profit is wide enough, you still have room for the price to get back to this verified resistance. Okay, and that's on the 30-minute chart. Okay, so that's how to use PinBar to make money. Let's quickly check if there's another trade, say D30. D30 has been so volatile since last night, so sorry, since yesterday or 2 days ago. But of course, it's expected, right? Because in recent moments, we've seen D30, moving like crazy, and of course, just moving in one direction. But don't forget that this particular trend is still up. Okay, so even if it returned with a lot of like 3 days bears, that's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Today is just kind of like being bullish at the moment. So you want to be careful trading this one also. And of course, don't forget that you can come to M15. That's if you are using this strategy. Don't forget I've taught this strategy in the webinar before. You can come to M15 now and check if you can place a buy. Now, for you to place a buy, it's time for you now to begin to look for a buy on this particular instrument. But don't forget that you're not going to just jump into a buy. No, you're going to jump into a buy if this price returned and touched any of these moving averages while the red is above the black and return with a pin bar. What I mean is this: if this price currently at 154.3, if it retraces, like trade down a little bit to meet this the red moving average, that's the 21 period, or the 50 moving average at this level, that's on this 15 minutes chart now. If it retraces and meet these ones and return with a pin bar, like a bullish pin bar, you can just place your trade and you can assure you make money. What I mean is this: let's quickly check. Don't forget that I don't take 5 minutes. I just want to show you an example. Let's switch to M5 and adjust our chart. All right, adjust the chart. Okay, so you can see, unfortunately, I don't have any pin bar here. The one I have is bearish, but it's wrong. Okay, because it formed at the wrong moment. The candlestick is still currently, that's the price is still currently surging up on this time frame. Let's quickly check M1. I just want to see if I can see an example. Good, we see one here. If you are a scalper, you would have placed this trade. You can see a pin bar right there. Let me just quickly. I'm just showing you an example. I'm not saying that you should come and trade M1. No, nobody in this webinar. I'm giving you kind of a very sound warning now. You shouldn't trade M1. All right, just do away from 1 minute time frame. This example I'm showing you because I want you to look for it on H1, H4, D1, M30, or even worst case scenario, M15. So if you look at what I have here now, you can see that I have a pin bar there, bullish pin bar. And of course, I also have a bullish pin bar somewhere around, not far away, somewhere around here, right there. Okay, so those are two bullish pin bars. And of course, there's a bigger one there, that's a bearish candle there. So if you have placed a buy based on this one, and that's the pin bar now, forming around it, don't forget that this is support. This is support. The moving average is a support at the moment. And of course, even the red one is also a support. So you could have made, say, for example, I traded 0.01 after the formation of this pin bar, and the price moved like so. I would have made about 3,000 naira today on 0.01. Meaning that if I've done it with 0.1 lot, I would have made 30,000. I've actually made about close to 100,000 on this particular instrument today on this my real account. Let me just show you for the sake of those people that are doubting it. You can see that I've made almost 100,000 on it today on this D30. Actually, I wasn't trading M1 anyway. I was just trading. I was just trading just another strategy like so. I don't have to disclose all my strategy to you, right? I don't have to do that, okay? But of course, because I don't trade M1, I actually placed my trade using H4 this morning because it actually saw kind of like a potential for this instrument to move up. And of course, I made 95,000. Now, because I have a buy ahead of me also, and of course, I've been a very careful trader, that's risk reward. I've lost 19,000. I've also made 95,000. Telling you that you cannot win all trades 100%. Don't forget that. You cannot win all trades 100%. But if you have made money, you can compensate for it if you have made some other losses. So I have to cut the trade off because the trade might not actually enter profit for me. And I don't have to wait for it to enter profit. Okay, so if you see this one, say this kind of structure on H1, or if you see it on M15 or M30 or H4 or D1, that's a bullish pin bar like so. And of course, if they are resting on such moving average that's dynamic or the fixed one, you can use it to place your trade and make money, sir. All right? Any question? Anybody want me to look at a particular chart that I have not looked at? live support and resistance. Okay, like I promised, I said I was going to check if I can. Sorry, somebody say, oh, do you trade D30 on M15? Yes. I also made about 265K on it today. Congratulations, Mr. Rotimi Atolagbe. I like that. You can see that if you check the comment section, everybody, just quickly check the comment section. Somebody is giving testimony. They have just made 265,000 today on D30. Now, why? Because he traded M15 probably, and of course, probably he followed the strategy I used before, and of course, it's giving him money. So it's not only me that made 95,000 today. So that has made better money than I do, right? Please, what period do you use a PinBar use on the Bollinger Band? I use 1 hour, I use H4, I use D1. That's for that person that is asking me. I don't use Bollinger Band on 30 minutes, no. I don't use it on 15 minutes, no. I don't use it on 5 minutes, no. I don't use it on 1 minute, no. I'm just giving you an example. Where I use Bollinger Band is starting from 1 hour, H4 and D1, and also W1. Okay, in some scenarios, I can just check W1. That's the weekly chart and see if there's an opportunity there. All right, so any other question that I want to quickly look at? How do I get H4, D1, and W1? Sometimes, okay, H4, good, good. So if you are using H4, D1, and W1, you'll be making money. Is D the same with period? I don't really understand the Brappa's question. I don't understand, all right? I'm going to look at buy limit and sell limit again. Normally, we don't, if you are trading PinBar, I just want us to limit ourselves to what we are doing. If you are trading PinBar, you cannot use buy limit and sell limit. It's not proper, all right? It's wrong for you to use buy limit and sell limit on PinBar. But because you ask on how to use buy limit and sell limit, let me give you an example, a very quick one. Let's say that I'm trading, say, H1 on D30, H1. And of course, if I'm trading H1, I can quickly switch to my support and resistance and check. Okay, what I can do is that I've seen the price broke below a support at this level. Why? Because the price actually touched a support right here. Let me click on insert and give you kind of like a shape. Say this. The price got a support and formed a PinBar right there. Can you see it? And of course, but the PinBar could not really push the price up too much before the price collapsed around this level, say this one. Price collapsed around that level and fell. Now, since that collapse yesterday, price has not returned to touch that level again. And don't forget that that level is a very critical level because immediately it broke that level, it quickly broke the next level. That's the one right next to it. That's this one right here. Okay. Now, I expect this price to trade and back to this level. So that means the price is currently pushing forward to touch this level. Now, don't forget that I think the US 30 we place is already, is already in profit. So if you really want to make money with PinBar, we have seen one, we are using it now. You can still trade, even if you want to try it out on your demo. I'm using real account. You can try it your own out on demo if you choose to. Okay, let me just click on insert and show you something. I just want to show you that this is the candlestick. We are treating it as a continuation pattern. Okay, even though the candlestick is not touching support, we have seen price return around support, and of course, there's a continuation pattern on this 30-minute time frame that we are following. All right, so right now I've placed my trade. If you want to place yours, you can try it now on this same US 30, buy, and of course, take your profit when it gets to around that verified resistance. Of course, your stop loss should be below that verified support. All right, so you can try it out on demo. It's not a problem. All right. So let me just quickly disable this. I like to see my chart in full and quickly, what I mean is that I don't like to see all these market watch. I don't want to see all these ones. I don't want to see all these ones. No. I don't. Those ones are really, really disturbing. So what I do is I like to do clean charts, right? So I quickly disable those ones. So just in case we want to ask why am I not having all those information on my chart? Okay. I promise to look at something. Anybody that wants me to look at a chart for him or her before we close, Euro USD, PinBar on Euro USD now to trade. Yeah, we already placed a trade on Euro USD. We already placed a trade on Euro USD, sell on it. But that's because we are trading a PinBar that returned when it got to a resistance. All right. So do you select trade to focus on per week? Yes, I don't trade. Don't forget, I don't trade all. I don't trade all instruments. I don't trade all instruments. If you are hearing me clearly, note this. I don't trade all instruments on the chart. What I mean is this. If you check here, And of course, you check indices, you can see a lot of them, different instruments, W20, USD, Net 25, CHN. I've never opened this chart before, right? For example, I don't trade all these NED 25. I've never opened it before. Why do I want to open it? No, I select the instrument I want to trade, okay? I'm very selective. Number one, I also look at spread. Okay? Spread is very, very important for me. Okay, it's one of the determinants I use. Among these major FX now, is not all of them that I trade. For example, I hardly visit Euro CHF. I hardly do that. Right? But if you choose to trade Euro CHF, it's fine. It's a problem. It's not a problem. So if you look at my chart, you can see that I have selected ones. Let me just quickly show you. I have D30, US 30, Euro USD, that's 3. Oil, gold, that's 5. USD CHF, that's 6. GBP USD 7. AUD USD 8. USD card 9. And of course, Euro JPY 10. Okay? And of course, Euro GBP 11. So I have 11 instruments that I focus on per week, per month. Okay? And of course, even on all these 11 instruments, I don't trade a lot of them at the same time. All right? So I'm very careful when it comes to trade. If I don't see what I want, I don't trade. Okay? So be specific on what you want. I can assure you, you will make money. Okay? Let me just check. Any question? Support and resistance indicator. I want to see if I can give you. You didn't finish discussion of sell limit, buy limit. Okay. Let's quickly check. Yeah, I think I remember now. Let me just go back to that D30. Now, what you can do, sir, is this. If you believe that the price will continue to go down, because it's a question of belief. If you believe that this price will continue to sell, if it gets to resistance, for example, if it gets to this turncoat resistance. Now, let me just quickly tell you something about buy limit and sell limit. Buy limit and sell limit are kind of like subjective, number one. If you are trading it, you are not trading a reactive trade. You are trading an active trade. You are an active trader. What I mean is that there are two kinds of traders, active traders and traders that wait for reaction of price. So if you are going to trade sell limit, it means that you want to place trade based on your belief on the chart. That the price, I'm very sure that when the price gets to a resistance, it will turn back, as if you are the one controlling the chart. Since you are not the one controlling the chart, you want to wait for a reaction. That's what I do. But if you are so much sure, like, I'm very sure, 100%, if the price gets to this turncoat resistance, it will not go further, it will go down. Then why not? You can use a sell limit. Click on new order. Click on instead of instant, change it to pending order. Instead of buy limit, choose sell limit. Since you believe it will continue to trade, sell. And of course, you now choose a price. Now, choosing a price should be around that resistance. You can choose the first resistance, that's the first turncoat, or the second turncoat, depending on the one you believe in. Let me just click and drag this one to the side. Now, what do you believe? Let me ask you. Do you believe that the price will get to the first resistance, that's R1? Let me just label it R1 now for all to see. R1. Let me label it R1. And I can change the thing to whatever I want it to be and click on OK. So R1 right there, R1. And of course, R2 should be up. That's R2 there. So let me just edit this R2 now. Edit it and change it to R2. R2. All right. So resistance 1, resistance 2. Which one do you believe? Do you believe that if price gets to resistance 1, it will turn back? Let me just put this one here, resistance 1. And of course, this one, resistance 2. Or do you believe that the price will turn back when it gets to R2? Whichever you believe, do this. So let's quickly click on horizontal line, place it around R1, and say, for example, if the price gets to 12324.4, it will sell. Or use the second one. If the price gets to 12492.1, it will sell. What you now do is you now choose the price you want among these two. If you believe it to be the first one, you choose 1232.4, you just drop it here, 1232.4. And of course, that will be your sell price, right? 12324, 12324.4. All right, so you can now place your sell. Now, before you place the trade, you also want to check where will my stop loss be if eventually price gets to that level and it sells. What you can do is to say, okay, maybe the price will just fall. If it gets to finally, you can use this stop loss. For example, let's say this is a rejection point. That's right there. Don't forget how I get my rejection points. Those are areas that I feel price has gotten to before it, got tired and couldn't go up. So let's say we are using 12585.0 as our stop loss on both. That's on the two. So you can choose 12585.0 as your stop loss. But of course, you can place your trade sell. Okay, that's your trade sell limit. Now, of course, if you want to do the second one, that's if you believe that the price, maybe the price will go past the second one, but you not go past the second one. You can also do the second one, say 0.02. You can choose a higher lot for that. Don't forget, you can use any lot size you want on your trades. So you can say, okay, sell limit again, sell limit, and of course, you already have the price 12492.1, 12492.1. And of course, your stop loss will still be the same as the first one, 12585.0. And of course, you can place a sell now. Now, the next thing you want to do is to choose take profit. Now, your take profit might be anything you want. You can say, okay, I want 100 pips for this trade. Don't forget 100 pips is 1,000 points. Or you want 50 pips, depending on what you want. Say, take profit can be, say, maybe around, say 11882.0. Since it's a sell trade, your take profit should be below. And you can choose that one, 11882.0. And of course, you can modify for the first one. And of course, you can also modify for the second one as well. For the second one, 11882.0. Of course, you can also modify. So you have two take profits and two trades running or about to run. Now, the fear is this: since you are trading an active trade, not a reactive trade, the fear is this: the price might just get to this resistance and break it and continue to go up, and also break this one and continue to go up. Don't forget, we are talking about D30, one of the most volatile instruments in this business. So you want to be careful trading D30 this way. Instead of you doing it this way, since you request for it, why don't you wait for the price to react? Okay, let the price get to this resistance. Let it give you a PinBar that you can trade. Then you can now follow the trade and place your sell directly. I think that's better. For me, that's better. So that's how you do sell limit. Any question? Any question? Oh, somebody is saying price will get to both resistance as if he's the one dragging it. Mr. Rotimi is saying that price will get to resistance. I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay. So give us the link to the download. Let me just quickly, just give me a few minutes. Let me see if I can get to my resistance. I'm not sure I have the link anymore, but I'll try. I'll just try. Just give me a moment. Let me see if I can get to my Dropbox and see if I can get it for you. Okay. Just give me a moment. Let me see if I can give you that resistance. Thanks, sir. What's the use of the expiry on the setup? For the setup, the expiry is, for example, I hope you can hear me all. Somebody is asking a very, very important question when it comes to. Just give me a moment. Let me just quickly check. I want to see if I can get the support and resistance for you all now. If I can't get it now, that means we have to reschedule and see if I can get it across to you. I'm checking my folders and see if I can get the support and resistance. I still can't find it. I still can't find it. Files. Okay. Okay. All right. So I think I found the support and resistance. I think I found it. Just give me a moment. Share. Okay. All right. So let me just quickly get the support and resistance for everybody right here now. Tiny URL. Okay. Just give me a moment, everybody. I want to get this link for you once and for all so that I'll be very okay. All right, so I think I have the tiny URL now for everybody. So if you are listening to me now, all you need to do is just check the message section. I just drop a message for everybody. There's a tiny URL link that I just dropped for you now. That tiny URL link will lead you to the support and resistance template. I just sent it now. Somebody, Blessing Omotioma, is asking if I should. It's asking that I send the link on how to download the software. There's no, just click on the link. It will take you to a page, my page, where you can download that link or that support and resistance template. Sorry, software. Now, when you download that software, just just learn. Just ask your manager how you can insert support and resistance on your because I might not have time to explain how you can install it. I've just given you the software, learn how to install it. You can just check YouTube videos on how to install indicator on your chart. Just check it and do that so that you can save us time. Okay. All right. So let me just quickly go back to what we are doing. I think we are still here. So now, I think we are good. Any question? Finally, I've shared that support and resistance to everybody. Okay, the expiry. Okay, finally the expiry. Now, what the expiry does is simple. Let me just click on limit. That's the buy limit, sell limit there. And somebody is asking on this expiry. Now, it's a little bit advanced, but let me explain it. It's very simple. Let's say that you believe that today is a Friday, that today, if this price doesn't get to this resistance, that the trade you place should automatically delete without your input. That's the work of expiry. All right. What you are saying is that there should be a time bound, a time limit to your trade, to what you want this trade to do. If you believe that the price will get there today, that if this price can get there today, then the price will fall. But if price fail to get there today, then this trade should self-delete. That's the work of expiry. Now, let me just quickly insert that expiry. Today, today's market will close around, say, maybe 9 o'clock, 9:30 p.m., but let's say even 8 o'clock p.m. That's 2000, 8 p.m. So I'm going to change this number to 20. And of course, I'm going to change this one to 0. What it means is that if I click on modify now, by 8 p.m. tonight, today is 12th, that's June 12th. By 8 p.m. tonight, this trade will expire. That's the sell limit I place here. If it doesn't activate, that's what I mean. If it doesn't activate, if this price, the current price doesn't touch this sell limit to activate the trade, it should self-delete. So you click on modify. All right. So the next one also, you can also do the same. Just do expiry on it, click on expiry, and of course, say it should self-delete, say around maybe 8:15 p.m. That's 2015. All right. Just change it on to 15. So you can see if you have placed the same trade on your account, say demo account, check the expiry of both of the two trades. If the price doesn't get there by 8 p.m. tonight, you will see the two of them will disappear automatically. All right, without your input, that's the work of expiry. I think we've done justice. We are supposed to spend 1 hour together. We have spent a little bit above 1 hour now. I think we've done justice to the PinBar trading strategy. If you appreciate this, let me see some yes. Thank you very much. Okay. So any other question finally? Any other question? I don't want to see questions. I just want to say hallelujah. You are going to make money. Okay. I appreciate this. I appreciate everybody. Thank you very much for being part of us. Thank you very much for being part of Rally. Now, let me just quickly share this for everybody to also see. If you have any question, don't forget you can visit us on our website. Right? Don't forget you can visit us and have a live discussion with us. Okay, so let me just continue from here. That's to download this webinar. If you have some of our previous webinars, you should be just contact your account manager if you can get a link, or you get to our website if you can, see some videos. Like a lot of videos are there that you can download. Almost every day we upload videos because of these coronavirus issues. We've not been really, we've not been seeing a lot of our clients. Okay, so and of course we decided to just go online. Since this business is 100% online, you don't have to see us before you make money. No, you can just visit our website, and that's rally.academy, and start your basic financial trading course there. If you have a friend that wants to start with us, they can start there. All our videos, tutorials are there, free of charge to clients to view and download. And also, don't forget you can write to us feedback@rally.academy. If you have any questions, any comments on any of our videos, just write to us at feedback@rally.academy. Chat with us live. Okay, you go to rally.trade. That's where you can chat with us live. Right? Of course, we'll be there to answer all your questions. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much. Goodbye.